Hey, everybody, we've got some great clips for you featuring the guy who will never be vice president, JD Vance. Um, are the rumors about the couch and the dolphin true? We don't know, so we stuck with things we do know. Also, I hope you're sitting down. I agreed with somebody on Fox. Whoa, that was terrifying. And finally, we have some really good news for Vice President Kamala Harris. Hope you enjoy the clips and the analysis. See you on the other side.
I'll tell you, I'm ready to debate Donald Trump. I have agreed to the previously agreed upon September 10th debate. He agreed to that previously. Now it appears he's backpedaling, but I'm ready.
Well, I am not surprised to hear more lies from Kamala Harris. In fact, I just spoke to President Trump about this very topic today. He is committed to debating Kamala Harris. It will happen.
Just moments before we came on air, a newly released statement from the Trump campaign came out where they are hedging on the debates altogether, backing out of them for the time being, with Trump's spokesperson saying, and I'm quoting now from the new statement, "General election debate details cannot be finalized until Democrats formally decide on their nominee."
Well, okay. That's not true because President Biden wasn't formally our nominee when Donald Trump agreed to a September 10th debate. So it's also rich to hear one of Donald's spokespeople lie about somebody else lying when minutes later we find out that the spokesperson, was indeed lying. This is as clear as it could be. Vice President Harris has already been making the case that she's the prosecutor and Donald's the criminal. She has his number. The last thing in the world Donald Trump could withstand is to be at a podium right next to the woman who is prosecuting the case against him without pulling punches, without any respect for him, and without any hesitation to laugh at him and mock him on those very frequent occasions when he deserves to be laughed at and mocked. So you can keep pretending all you want, Donald, that there are some technical reasons you don't want to debate because the Democrats are trying to pull a fast one on you. The reason is, and you know this, it's because you're afraid of getting beaten by a girl.
Obviously, it was a sarcastic comment. I've got nothing against cats. I've got nothing against dogs. I've got one dog at home, and I love him, Megan. But look, this is not, people are focusing so much on the sarcasm and not on the substance of what I actually said. And the substance of what I said, Megan, I'm sorry, it's true.
Wait a minute. Okay. So he was being sarcastic, but it was true. First of all, I just want to take a moment just to be serious. I want to thank my cousin Donnie for convincing his father to pick JD Vance as his running mate. Donnie, if you weren't your father's least favorite child before now, you are now. This has already come back to bite you. JD Vance is just the gift who keeps on giving. I'm not entirely sure what was sarcastic about his saying that Democrats are bitter, lonely, single cat ladies who are trying to destroy America. And if he was being sarcastic, I'm not sure where the truth is in that statement. But JD, please keep talking.
Well, I'll go back to something I said earlier about we need to reward the things that we think are good and punish the things that we think are bad. So you talk about tax policy. Let's tax the things that are bad and not tax the things that are good. If you're making $100,000, $400,000 a year, and you've got 3 kids, you should pay a different, lower tax rate than if you're making the same amount of money and you don't have any kids. It's that simple.
I totally agree.
Oh, well, if Charlie Kirk is agreeing with you, you must be onto something. By the way, if you're making $100,000 to $400,000 in America and you have a family, you're really fucking lucky. And chances are, you've had help along the way. And I think you should pay your fair share in taxes. And also, by the way, JD, who exactly is determining what's good and what's bad? Because if it were up to you, single people, some of them with cats and some of them without children, wouldn't even be allowed to vote. So please shut up. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Keep talking. I don't want to contradict myself.
So Jesus didn't have kids, therefore you are wrong. What were you trying to say?
I guess they're comparing Kamala Harris to Jesus. I don't know. That doesn't make a ton of sense to me, Megan. But look, I know the media wants to attack me and wants me to back down on this, Megan. But the simple point that I made is that having children, becoming a father, becoming a mother, I really do think it changes your perspective in a pretty profound way. I don't think we should back down from it, Megan. I think we should be honest about the problem.
He has no demographic. Like, that's the fascinating thing. Like, even if he weren't just a horrible human being and a really bad candidate, he brings nothing to the ticket, like demographically or identity wise at all. I mean, I think they have the aggrieved, bitter, misogynistic white guy vote nailed down. I think.
You know, at this point, the Republican ticket is sort of like a walking billboard for men who don't go to therapy or men who need therapy, right?
First of all, to the extent you're getting attacked, I think actually what the media are doing, they're finally doing their job and they're reporting on what you're actually saying. And they're sort of putting it into the context of 21st century America, which is horrifying. Kamala Harris has children. She just didn't have them in a way you approve of, you smug, arrogant little man. Secondly, you think that being a parent somehow makes you a better person or makes you count more. There's some people in my family I should probably introduce you to disabuse you of that ridiculous notion. But finally, and this is just in the context of your twisted little world, you think people should have children, and yet you don't think they should have children via IVF? So maybe you should get your story straight. And again, this is the theme for the evening, apparently. Keep telling it and tell it louder and tell it in more places because it's completely bonkers. And the American people deserve to know who would be one heartbeat away from the presidency if the worst possible thing in American history ever happened.
They've got about 100 days of a honeymoon period that might very well last 50 to 60 days, where people are still going to be just excited that they have Kamala Harris. They're not going to dig into her record. They're not going to be bothered by her record because they're going to be so excited for probably the next 50 days. Well, we've only got about 100 until a general election and even fewer to early voting. Yeah. So don't get too comfortable on the Trump side. And I'm sure we're going to talk about this later, but the attacks on her personally, on whatever her past personally may have been, or calling her a childless lady, none of those are going to work, and they're going to make women second guess their support for what they may have felt for Donald Trump. Bad move.
Ooh, there are a lot of strong points in that for Republicans. I mean, depending on how much you love Donald Trump and do or don't like his VP pick, some of that was for J.D. Vance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's for
Don't
everyone.
call women dumb. It just doesn't work. On Republican women or liberal women, it just doesn't work. There are much better ways to attack Kamala.
Okay. Hang on. I need to check something very quickly. Has there been a rip in the space-time continuum? Because I think I just agreed with Tomi Lahren, if that's her name. How is that possible? See, 2024 is truly shaping up to be the most bizarre year of my life. I am agreeing with, I guess it's Tomi Lahren, at least for the second half of what she had to say. Let's start with the first half first, though. Kamala Harris is our vice president. If you don't know, especially you in the media, if you don't know what her record is or what she's been doing, that's your problem. She's the vice president. There is plenty out there. She was a presidential candidate in 2016. She not only was she President Biden's running mate, she had a history before that. She was a senator. I mean, come on. She's not some weird question mark like JD Vance, who's been a senator for 60 months and, had some AI generated book on the New York Times seller best list 8 years ago. Okay? So are there ways that the Republicans can find to quote unquote attack her in, political parlance as candidates are wont to do? Well, no. And you know why? Is it because she has a perfect record? Nobody has a perfect record. Is it because she's a perfect person? Nobody's a perfect person. It's because they will not be able to get past the fact that she is a woman and that she is Black. That's all they've got. Okay. So, yes, while it is very, very true that attacking her from those perspectives, which, by the way, Mike Johnson has told his caucus not to do, that's all they're going to do. So we're going to see it blow up in their faces because Tommy Lahren is right. Women, even Republican women, apparently, do not like to be told that they're stupid, that they're sluts, that they're weak, and that they deserve whatever's coming to them. And that is the message from the Republican Party. Good luck with that, guys.
She's the one who has, run around the world and not been projecting strength. And we have seen the direct impacts of this. 5 days after she was in Russia, they invaded Ukraine. So,
oh my goodness, my entire worldview has just shifted. I didn't realize that Kamala Harris was completely responsible for Russia's illegal invasion of our ally Ukraine. Who knew? Well, apparently Fox did. Are you kidding me? See, this is what we're going to see. They're grasping at straws, and the discourse is going to become further and further debased because let's be real. Not only do they have nothing to nothing really to work with in terms of their record, her record, but all they have is their grievance and their anger and this dark worldview. I mean, seriously, do we expect Donald Trump to sit down and give us an intellectual assessment of his competition? No, that's why he doesn't want to debate her, because he cannot go there. There's only one line of attack he has, and it's going to embarrass him and his campaign. And I'm very sad to say it's going to demean the rest of us. So buckle up.
I'll tell you, though, the mood here around who may become the president has clearly shifted. The expectation, obviously, a week and a half ago would have been President Trump. I'll tell you, business leaders here saying that they plan to support Vice President Harris for president and seem to be very excited about it. They do hope that she does move to the center. That's something they keep saying. But a real shift in terms of, I think, the way the business community is even thinking about this election now.
Well. That was fun. I mean, it makes sense. Donald's quote unquote policies we know will be terrible for the economy, not just in this country, but globally. And again, they always have to hedge everything. She has to go more to the center. I mean, she's not Bernie Sanders, for God's sakes. The reason President Biden became so progressive is because in the midst of the triple catastrophes he was dealing with, a cratering economy, a global pandemic, and democracy on a knife's edge, those are the policies we needed to get us out of that very deep, dark hole that Donald Trump had put us at the bottom of. This stuff works. And we know it does because we have outpaced every other country on the planet in terms of economic advances and lower inflation. Okay, so I'm not entirely sure what they mean by Kamala Harris has to come more to the center, but even if she doesn't meet all of those criteria, whatever they are, they're still going to support her, because not to do so as a business person in this country would be suicidal. So please, somebody play that clip on a loop, wherever Donald is. Like maybe at one of his rallies, just set up a screen in the back and project that onto the screen, because I think he would enjoy it. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this. I love doing this for you guys. Thank you for being here. You are helping us grow this channel, and we appreciate each and every one of you, plus all of your great comments. Don't forget to like the videos and share them, because that really helps. And if you haven't already, just click on subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. It just means that you will be alerted every time we have new content, which is basically every day here at Mary Trump Media. And it helps us grow our subscribership, which is really, really important as we head into the election. So thank you again, and have an amazing weekend. I will see you Sunday evening for my Ask Mary Anything Within Reason. And don't forget Brian Karem's reverse shot tomorrow. And we've got Democracy has just dropped today. So we've got lots of new stuff coming for you. And I will see you soon. In the meantime, please stay safe and be kind.